Hello and welcome to Rarely Rad, episode 9. It is Haley and Isabel. How was your weekend?
It was good. Okay, so when you open up, I just realized that you sound like a news anchor.
I don't know. I always have a phone call voice, and it's just I think from having a sales background, it was so funny when I used to like do tech sales and I had to make like 60 calls a day. I like would get on the phone and be like, "Hey, it's Haley," and then I'd hang up and be like, "All right, back to normal." And
Yeah,
I
yeah, it's
was
like
calling stores at work, and I was like, "Okay, was just trying to reach Deborah. Bye."
thinking about it now, I'm like, no wonder nobody takes me seriously. Like I sound like Minnie Mouse.
When I was in my real sales job, I was doing construction sales, and so I think the guys liked that I sounded like a little girl. And
Yeah,
I,
that's weird thinking about
and
that.
I would like constantly giggle on my calls, and it got me really far. But then when I was training the guys on my team, I was like, you can't really giggle. Like it's not the
That's
same if a
weird.
boy's giggling. Like, whereas I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't really like know if you're the right person. He, and they'd be like, oh, but I'm not. But actually, you should reach this person. Here's their phone number. And I'd be like, great. Whereas boys can't do that.
Yeah, no. Men don't get away with that kind of stuff.
It's one of
Well,
the few
no
things
guy wants
women wouldn't.
no man wants to talk to another man when they can
No.
talk to a woman.
Well, I was actually having this conversation this past week. Like, this is so random, but I was thinking about it when I was traveling in Savannah for work. I walked to dinner and I was walking back to my hotel, and it was dark and probably like 8:30, maybe 9. And I hadn't, and so in Savannah, have you ever been there?
Yeah.
It's like one of those cities. It's similar to New Orleans, where like it's really, really pretty, and then you take a turn, and it's like 8 homeless people. So like you never really know what to expect, I feel like. And so I was walking back to my hotel. My hotel was like kind of further down the river. I had my work phone in my pocket, and then I had my actual phone in my right hand. And on my walk, I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, so if like I were to get kidnapped and like someone were to come up, grab my phone, they won't know that I have a second phone in my pocket. And like I'll press and like call, you know how like if you hold down the button or whatever, it like calls an emergency number. And I'm going through this scenario in my head. And like a boy never thinks that way.
No, they don't. I always think if I'm walking alone and I have keys, I put the key part, between my knuckles in case for some reason somebody's
You
gonna
got to
come
start
after me and then
stabbing
I can
someone.
exactly. And like I have pepper spray. Yeah, guys don't think like that. Like I
They never have
luckily
had to, and it's just wild to think that they don't. And like I don't, like I should probably be more nervous than I am in most of those situations. I feel very safe walking around cities, but yeah, when I was doing that walk, I like did have that plan in my head. That's wild as a woman that we think that way, because a man would never.
yeah, no, and I think about that too. Like I feel pretty safe. Charlotte is like a new city. It's pretty safe. Everybody here is like pretty similar to the same age, but also New York City, like I always feel safe.
Me
But then
too.
today I saw TikTok and I kind of forget this about New York is like some guy just went up and punched this girl in the face just for no reason. And I kind of forget that that's like a New York thing. And
Well, even like, I don't know, I love Law and Order SVU. And it's always at night, girl walking home with her purse, and then they're like, take her. And yeah,
yeah,
I'm just like, whatever, I'm safe. And
yeah,
I
I tried to when I was younger. I feel like I should probably still do it now. I would always try to call somebody just when I'm walking, just because I mean, you never know. And like I worked in Uptown and I didn't live that far, but they do the time change and it's like dark at 6 p.m.
oh
Like
yeah.
my job didn't end until 6, so by the time I actually left, it was like 6:30 or 7. And I would always call my roommate just because even though it's super safe, there's like 4 blocks,
You just
super
never
dark
know
out.
though. And like there's
And
always like I don't know, I always think like especially in New York, I'm like, oh, there's people around. Like there's people around,
exactly.
whatever. But then like you hear this story, unfortunately, I don't know the boy's name that was on his like frat formal in Nashville. Have you heard this one?
No.
It's happening, I think, still right now. I think it happened like 2 weeks ago. And he was on his frat formal and he got kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar because he was too drunk or something. And he's been missing ever since. They
Wow.
haven't found him. His parents have then now come to Nashville. Some girls were hiking some trail or something and they found, I want to say, one of his credit cards or something. I still don't know if that, honestly, I haven't been following it too close. It's honestly probably like TikTok news that I have any of
Right.
this knowledge from per usual. But Nashville, like Broadway, that's a very busy area.
Obviously, if he was that drunk, probably happened is that he got into the wrong Uber and not Uber.
It
Somebody was
wasn't
like,
an
"Oh,
Uber situation, and apparently, like some of the frat brothers have said they then wanted to leave and the bar said they couldn't leave the way that they were kicking out this kid. I don't know. Again, I don't know too much about it, but I do know he has not been found. I don't know if they've decided if he's dead. I don't really know. I just know,
Right.
I want to say like maybe Friday, a few days ago, that they found something of his and they were like, okay, so we know he was over here. And of course they have his phone last pinged that he was here. Yeah, I don't know. But we have had, I mean, my ex had that Uber situation happen where he was hammered leaving the bar. He got into what he thought was a Uber when it wasn't. The woman then took, again, he was drunk and he was young because it was before I even met him. He didn't have his credit card, whatever. She was like, you have to pay with cash. And him being drunk was like, okay. She brought him to an ATM, watched him put in his PIN. She then stole his wallet and his phone from him, then went to like 6 different Krogers and pulled out cash because there was like a limit amount of how much you could pull out of cash from Kroger ATMs.
They're like that for all ATMs. You can't pull out over $500.
It was less than that, I'm pretty sure. But she went to multiple of them. She ended up with a few $1,000s. And then she also had his phone and she went into his family group message. And you know how you can like write a text like with your finger? It was like one of those like things that came out, I see like 10 years ago now. And everyone's like, this is gonna be so cool. We can like write text. And then no one literally ever used that.
I honestly forgot about that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those things where everyone's like, this is going to be amazing. And then literally no one ever used it. She went into his family group message and wrote, like, thank you, with like a heart. And because his family got it the next morning, I think, they were like, what the hell's this? And he didn't have a phone. So he was like, what? But yeah, long story short, that was his Bank of America account, and Bank of America refused to give him back his money because they were like, they had your PIN. It wasn't, you weren't robbed. They had your PIN. And they closed the case, and he'd just keep reopening the case for years. And then in the middle of COVID, all of a sudden he had the money back in his account. We were like, what the fuck? And so we literally pulled out all that money, closed the Bank of America account, and opened up a different bank account. But that does happen. And we've had a lot of similar things like that happen lately in Atlanta in like different Buckhead bars and stuff where boys are saying they completely got robbed.
Honestly, it's probably because boys are walking around, we're thinking safety and they're not thinking safety.
That's true. I feel like a boy is more likely to have more cash and stuff on him.
Well, because girls, if you think about it, like these days now, a lot of us just carry the little card holders.
These card holders, yeah.
And men, they carry their wallets because their wallets aren't that big, so they have 10 different cards.
Yeah, like our wallets are like this big, and like theirs are like you slide it into a pocket. I lost one of those card holders and I never found it. I don't even do that anymore. I literally have my credit card and my ID in my purse, and that's it.
That's what I do too. I bought 3 credit card holders and lost all of them. So I dropped it, and the guy messaged me and was like, hey, I turned it into the front desk, which I didn't see it for probably 3 months later.
Oh yeah, this was super recent.
Yeah, I called the front desk, and it was an expensive card holder. It was a Louis Vuitton little one. So I know that the front desk were just like, oh, it's been 2 months. This girl hasn't called about it. I'm stealing it. I mean, like my name is on there. My last name, I was in my sister's apartment, so they could have easily just looked up my last name. It's not like I have a particularly common last name.
No, exactly.
So
like Smith, there's 12 of those. We don't know which one. No, like
yeah, no.
I can figure
my last name is very uncommon. So I know they could have easily just reached out to me. I mean, the guy that found it reached out to me. And so I know they just like kept my wallet because they knew it was expensive.
And that's how, when I lost my purse coming back from Gasparilla, again, at that point, I only kept like my ID and my card with me. They were both in there. My AirPods were in there. I had a phone charger in there. COVID vaccination card was in there. No one ever said anything. I never got a message. My brother went to the Tampa airport to find it there. Nothing ever. Someone had to have this.
Yeah, I've lost plenty of wallets and gotten them returned because people find me online.
Yeah.
If you're not, then you're trying to just be shitty. Ew, did you see that Chick-fil-A, they're changing their chicken quality?
Oh yeah, from like
it's from like basically animals that are not sick to animals that were sick but they got antibiotics, which is a lot of animals. So essentially we're eating sick animals that were I think feeling better.
Everyone I think already uses that. No. Chick-fil-A was just trying to keep a higher standard.
They're Chick-fil-A is like, I worked at Chick-fil-A and I mean everything is like frozen. I mean Wendy's is technically healthier for you than Chick-fil-A because Wendy's is fresh at least. But yeah, Chick-fil-A is always frozen. They just give you like this giant piece of meat and then you cut it into whatever size you want, like burger, or not burger, but like sandwich
Patties.
size, whatever. Yeah, I remember it being like, I mean, I ate it because I didn't have any money and it was free and I was in college.
I feel
But
you.
yeah, I think basically saves them even more money because they're obviously the quality of the chicken is not good, so they buy it for super cheap.
Are you off for Good Friday this upcoming Friday?
I don't think so. I don't think it's a bank holiday.
Yeah, well, the stock market's closed.
Oh, then maybe I am. I don't know. I should probably figure that out.
Yeah, we were talking about it at work because I was like, I don't think literally any of my friends are off. My coworker was like, no, like most companies are off. And I was like, I looked and even Chick-fil-A is open on Good Friday. I don't know.
I thought it was funny that Chick-fil-A announced that on the Sunday so that people like wouldn't go and like riot.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no one's thinking about Chick-fil-A then. I wonder if they'll have to put out signs or like because one of their I think it was the Polynesian sauce just like got contaminated with soy or something, and they like sent out notifications, and the like drive-through had like a sign saying throw away any Polynesian sauce that you might have received in the last 2 weeks. It could have possibly been contaminated with soy or something like that. And so I wonder if they'll do something similar with their new chicken protocols.
Probably not. They're probably going to try to keep it under the radar for as much as possible.
Have you seen that apparently Chick is coming out with like a pizza?
No, I don't really eat Chick-fil-A. I don't really like fast food. I like McDonald's Cokes, and that's like why I get McDonald's.
Yeah, their French fries are good too. It came up on my Instagram somewhere, and I think it's because they're testing the pizza in an Atlanta location. Honestly, I didn't read too much about it anyway, but apparently they're doing that.
Is Atlanta like the first location for Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, Chick-fil-A is headquartered here.
Okay.
That's why we have Truett's or whatever it is, the Hawaiian Chick-fil-A that
Yeah,
has
I
like
remember that.
sweet potato fries and all the like other fun things. But it's over an hour outside of Atlanta. Like it's not very close, but it always comes up like a fun place to go in Atlanta. And it's like I've never even been, and I've lived here for many, many, many years of my life. Oh, and our skinny girl retreats in less than a month.
I know. We made sweaters, or my friend Lauren, she like designed the logo, I guess what you want to call it. Not the logo, I don't know what the term is. Logo? Design. For the top.
Design, the merch.
She did a good job on it, and she got like a pretty good deal of it. You had to order like a pack of 12, and there's like 10 of us. So that's why we're hoping to get a couple more people so that then we could like balance out the cost
Hey,
of
I've
it.
been inviting people left and right.
No, I know. I invited my
like,
friend, but
oh, I have your phone number. Want to come? I know we just met a week ago, but like, do you want to come to my skinny girl retreat?
They're
It's
like,
not
what?
a fat camp, I swear.
Yeah.
And then we've had March Madness.
Yeah, I've been betting. So sports betting just became legal in North Carolina, like I think like this week or something.
Yeah.
So a bunch of the sports betting app are giving out a bunch of free money. So I had like $500 worth of bonus money.
She's rich.
But I don't know how to bet. Like I've just been betting. So they were like, oh, if you put in $25 and the payout or whatever says $3, then you're actually making $28. So my dumbass thought that when I put in my bonus amount, which was $25, and it said like payout is $8, that I was gonna win whatever that is, 25 plus 8. No, I only win 8.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, but I thought I was winning the 25 plus the 8, which is because it's like a game, like a combined. Like I didn't realize they were only gonna give me 8, because that's how like everybody explained it. They're like, yeah, if you put in 25, you win the 25 plus whatever the pot is. Yeah, because you win your money back.
No. So like,
yes,
odds change, but when you bet, you don't pay out then.
No,
so
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you put in $25. They say like how much you can win is like an extra $10 or whatever. So when you win, you get $35. But with the bonus money, you don't get that $25. You only get $10.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like making small bets because I was guaranteed to win. But then I'm only making like $10. So, I mean, I technically have my own
It kind
money
of sounds like solitaire.
But I never put money into solitaire either. But you have to put in like, I think it was like a minimum of $5 and bet your own $5 of your own money to get the 200-300, which is worth it.
Yeah.
My overall money, I spent 25 and now I have 100. So I have a pretty good success rate, I would say.
If you cashed out right now, you would be able to cash out $100?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. I won
That's
5
super
out of my
rad.
7 bets. And the two that I didn't win, I asked men for advice. And I was like, I've seen the way you gamble. I don't know why I even asked you. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen you win ever. And like one of them was Oregon. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do Oregon. They're like, no, Oregon's definitely gonna win. I was like, okay, cool. Oregon lost.
How are your
Okay.
brackets doing?
I don't think
One
they're
you
doing
had
that great. I haven't
Kentucky,
looked. Yeah,
so
Kentucky's out. The other one I had Gonzaga.
okay.
But I don't really know. I haven't looked in a couple days because I've just been refreshing my gamble page.
Yeah, I've been watching closely on my 2 brackets, and one is actually looking like semi decent, but the other one pretty dunzo. For both of them, I have UNC. I think I have.
UNC's still in, so hopefully.
Yeah, but it's not. Maybe it is UNC. I have UNC winning, and then another one I have Tennessee winning, and so they're both still in it. So there might be a chance for me.
I only paid for one bracket, and the other bracket was like a friend one, and then 2 other brackets that I did were like you can win a $150 gift card, but you didn't have to pay anything. So I'm hoping I can't remember what I did for those. They're like I just gave somebody my phone number or like the bar my phone number.
Yeah, I mean, I have my 2 going, and they were the 2 that we had to pay for, and then it's winner takes all. So I think it's like $140, $135. So that'd be a really good day for me if I can get that. And then tomorrow I'm going to see if I get that dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. We're recording this on the 25th, so on the 26th on Tuesday, and this will come out then on the 27th. Tomorrow morning, I'll find out if I get the dog. Basically, I'm number 2, and if number 1 shows up, then I don't get him. They don't, then I do get him. We'll see.
Exciting.
I'm like, I might be a dog owner, I might not be. Like,
I know. Being a dog owner is not cheap, I'll tell you that right now.
and then afterwards at 1:00 tomorrow, I have a meeting with my financial advisor. But I was like, I can start giving you more money now to like start putting in my IRA stuff, whatever. I made sure to schedule it after the potential dog so I can like know a little bit more about how that conversation's gonna go, because I don't want to like have that conversation to be like, I can give you this much money a month, and then be like, just kidding, I got a dog. I now can't.
Yeah, I mean the food alone, $90, and she has an ear infection. This cost us almost $400. So I have somebody to split it with at least, but paid a lot of money when she was having stomach issues. That was like a $600 vet bill. It's not cheap
Yeah.
for the dog.
It's not, but I mean, he's already 4.
They're worth it.
He's a good little boy. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, if it's not meant to be, then it won't be, and number 1 will show up. But if it is meant to be, then it won't. Oh, and then it's so crazy. So I have a sheet of paper that I got to bring with me that says like, I'm number 2. I looked at it today. It says what time it was printed out, and it was literally printed out at 11:11.
Ooh.
This is a good sign.
Yeah.
This might mean I'm coming home with a dog tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see. I'm like, again, I'm not trying to really get ahead of myself. We'll see what happens, and I might tomorrow morning at 10:30 have a puppy. Or, I mean, it's a dog, it's grown.
Yeah.
Or I might not.
I hope he's not a destroyer.
From meeting him and playing with him, he was really good. He had his toys. He's clearly well groomed. And even the woman that was like at the pound with me was surprised his owners like haven't come to get him, because he is so good. And even he was in his like little jail cell with all the other dogs in their
Jail cell? Great.
they're like jail cells. He doesn't even have a name. His name is 327.
Okay, so, but I would say being a destroyer has nothing to do with if he's good or not. It depends on separation anxiety.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he can come to work with me, so
Yeah, he looks like a little raccoon, like in a good way, you know?
yeah, he's
Little
like
panda eyes.
yeah, like a little bear, and he doesn't shed, so then we're good.
Is he gonna be yappy? I'm not a fan of yappers.
Well, so that's what I was saying is, so he was in his jail cell, and every other dog in there was barking and barking and barking and barking, and he was just sitting there, like.
That's good at least.
And that's how I knew even his photo on the Hound website. So they have to keep them for at least 7 days in case someone shows up. So when they get them in those first 7 days, they take the shittiest photos of these dogs. Like they're literally like, they don't even care if you're really looking. They're just like, snap, done. Like that's it. In his photo, he's literally standing there looking at the camera, smiling, because his little tongue's out and everything. He's just so ready for it. Literally every other dog looks like they're on their freaking deathbed. Sometimes they're like cute, but like in the ugly cute type of way. But no, he has been like one of the very few that I've seen that literally was just sitting there smiling. And so he's a good boy. I mean, if I get him we'll see.
I don't know how people can just give up their dogs. Like, I don't understand
Yeah,
that.
I saw one go show up on the website the other day, and because it says like how they got them. So like 327, it says stray, and there's one, and it was like owner turn in.
I know. I don't understand that. You
The
know,
dog
when you
was
get a
also
dog,
14. Wouldn't you just like gonna die soon?
that's probably why they gave it up, because they didn't want to deal with like medical bills or something. But then, like, why? I mean, I don't know. I feel like you know when you buy a dog that it's going to be a lifetime commitment, or at least a lifetime for the dog's commitment. Like,
Yeah.
for me, my animals, or like my parents' pets, like my pets, that's like a family member. Like, I'm not going to give that up.
I will say one thing that was really nice is like when I went to the pounds, there were 6 other people there also to look at dogs and stuff. So I was like, that's good. Like all these people are trying to save a dog in this pound.
I
Because
know.
there was a lot and it smells real bad.
I'm sure it's probably not very clean.
No.
There's probably dogs that actually end up peeing like in their crates because they probably don't take them out enough, you know, which is sad.
It was a time. And then it was so sad when we had to bring, so you go into a like bonding room with the dog. 327 and I are playing, like he's cuddling, he's just so cute. And I'm in there with the worker woman. It's like time to go, and he knew where he was going back. And so the girl was like trying to get him over so she could pick him up to bring him back. She'd like lure him over with the toys because he liked to play with them. And then he knew what was happening, and he'd immediately run back and go sit on my feet. He's like, no, like I don't want to go with her. And so eventually I had to pick him up and give him to her because there was no way he was going over there to her. I was like, don't worry, because he's going to be adopted tomorrow, no matter what. I truly think even if I didn't show up and the person in front of me didn't show up, I know they will go up to 10 people on the wait list. So I'm sure there's other people.
Especially like dogs that don't shed, and then puppies too, because my sister's ex, his parents found like 8 or 9 puppies on the side of the road like 2 years ago, I think it was. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll take one. These puppies were like super young, but they were so young they couldn't even like put them out for adoption yet. And I ended up being like number 8 on the list, and I applied the day after they were put in, which is insane. And then I obviously didn't get it because number 8, I mean, what are the chances there? But then I was like, okay, now I really want a dog. And so I was like I was like on Craigslist, I was like, dog near me. and then there was like labs. I was like doing it in here, and I came out into the living room. I was like, Austin, I'm gonna go look at puppies tomorrow. I was like, you can come if you want. If you don't, like, that's fine, but I'm gonna bring home a dog. And he's been like very anti-dog in an apartment, which I understand, but we have a big apartment, we want like a bigger dog. And he was like, okay, fine, I guess I'll go with you, because I was like, I mean, the dog's coming home, you might as well figure out if you're gonna like it or not. And so then 2 weeks later we were able to pick her up, which was super sweet. But like once we got in the car after like meeting them, because you sit in a little pen, and the puppies are like 4 weeks old, and there's like 13 of them. They smell so good, and they're so cute, and they have like that fat little tummy when they're puppies like that. I just want to like squeeze them.
Yeah, there were 2 little puppies in one of the cages when I was seeing 327, and they were so cute and small. And I was petting him through the cage, and he was just trying to bite my finger the whole time. But he was cute. I was like, you're just a sweet little baby.
I know that. So sometimes at the bars here, or like the breweries, they'll do a little puppy, like you can adopt puppies, and they bring like 4 or 5 of them to the brewery. Yeah, I'm like, because if I have one more drink in me, this puppy's going home with me. And it's so sad. Like one of them had like one eye. I was like, oh
You blacked out, came home with 3 dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't want to be alone.
I know, they were so cute. I was like, if I have one more drink, you're coming home with me.
I mean, last week when I went to go look at 327, it happened so the same day P had gone and volunteered at a different shelter, and he was calling me later, and I was like, dude, I'm at work. Like, what do you need? And he's like, I found a dog for you. And I showed you the photo. That dog was 0% a Haley O'Connell dog. I don't know where he got that idea.
Does this man know you?
I was like, do we have to break up? Like, this dog is literally 0% of the type of dog I'm looking for. And so, do you even know who I am at this point? I was like, you just want this dog. And so you're trying to get me to get this dog so that you don't have the responsibility of 2 dogs. And we don't need another. Like, you already have one. And even he told me yesterday, he was like, yeah, I even was considering maybe I could foster that dog. And I was like, no, because you know what would have happened? That would have been a failed foster, and that dog would have never left.
That's a good foster. That's what's supposed to happen. That's an adoption.
No, I feel like at foster, you're supposed to be a foster and you bring them home and then you bring them places to go get it adopted.
No, that's not what that is.
Yeah.
No, a foster it's a temporary home until they get adopted. It's
That's
because they
what
don't
I'm
have
saying.
enough.
That
If
dog
you don't
would have
bring it,
never
you're
been
not
adopted.
shopping the dog. Yeah, but
The
if
dog
the dog
would have
doesn't
never
get
been adopted. That would have been P's dog.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not a fail. He's still getting adopted.
No, that's a failed foster.
Also, a lot of people foster and like they'll keep it under what they call what you're calling a failed foster, because the animal shelter will pay for everything. They'll pay for food, and so they keep the dog. They just don't have to pay anything for it, because if the dog gets sick,
I think you have to like show though that you're doing meetups and stuff to try and get it adopted.
I think it depends on the state, because I know one of my friends in South Carolina, they just kept the dog basically. And my friend actually and her husband started this company, and they partnered with like an animal shelter. And so the animal shelter, obviously the dogs were brought over, and she got like really drunk and then stole one of the dogs and called them, left a voicemail drunk. She's like, I'm just letting you know that I'm keeping this dog. And they never contacted her or anything. So she just like owns this dog.
Interesting.
She didn't have to pay any. I was like, that's kind of bad though. But like, obviously it went to like a good home, but like, you never know.
Yeah, I didn't even know what to really fully expect tomorrow, because I asked them if I do get him, what happens. And she was like, oh, the process is just like maybe 15 to 30 minutes. We'll microchip him and do something else. And she was like,
bring your own leash though, because they'll charge you $50 for a leash there. And a leash is like, well, then go buy one. It's like
today.
$10. Well, before you go see the dog, unless you want.
Can I just carry him out?
No, they won't let you do that. You have to have a leash. They will charge you $50 for a leash there.
So I have to buy a collar too then?
Probably. You can always just get like an ugly one and then return it.
And I'll just borrow one.
Isn't Forrest like bigger than that dog?
Yeah, but Forrest is small ones, I'm sure.
Did people keep? I mean, I guess I kept all my collars.
Yeah. Hater.
I don't know. Do men operate the same? Like, I don't know. I kept all my dog collars.
I mean, I know he has a cage that he doesn't use for Forrest.
Are you gonna crate your dog?
I don't know. I don't even know if I have a dog yet.
Yeah.
If he's gonna want to crate.
We have one, but we just keep her bed in there and we just keep it open.
Yeah, and that's how my parents is too. We have one for the dogs, and like the door stays open, and sometimes they'll go hang out in there because they know it's a safe spot.
Yeah, so. Ours is next to our bed too. So she goes in there every day at some point, even just to her little bedroom, you know. We tried crate training. She was fine with it, but I got too attached and I couldn't do it. I think she went in the crate like the first 2 weeks of owning her, but she was also a really easy puppy. Like for being 6 weeks old, it took her a week to potty train. And so we just never had that issue. Yeah. My hope is since like 327's 4 years old that he's already potty trained and stuff. Probably. You can tell he's been groomed and everything. Like, you aren't grooming your dog if your dog's not potty trained. Well, that's not true. I know plenty of dogs that aren't potty trained and they're very well groomed. Oh, well, hopefully not 327. Well, a lot of them is because they're smaller and their bladders are too small. Like my sister's dog, he's tiny. Though he is like potty trained, he just can't hold it that long. So she has to take him out like almost every 2 hours. Yeah. They have pee pads for him now. Oh, and pop culture news, I saw this thing. Apparently, I know Love is Blind is over, blah, blah, blah. But apparently someone came out that BFFs with Clay saying that AD has a sugar daddy and he pays for like pretty much most of her life. And that's where they had so many financial issues because that's how she affords the life that she kind of lives. And he was like, she says she's a real estate agent. And he said, show me one photo of a house that she's sold and stuff. He was like, there isn't one. And I was like, damn. And apparently at like some bar or something, this guy and Clay were outside and the sugar daddy like went up to them and said some stuff to him. I don't know. And this is all rumors and stuff, but that wouldn't fully surprise me. The sugar daddy then, because it depends on like the type of sugar daddy. There's like types where you just like talk to them. And yeah, I mean, this guy might just send her money like to get her lashes done and stuff. Exactly. I think Austin would actually be totally fine if it was just one of those guys that I just like texted. But I think some guys would be like, okay, whatever. Like, but then also Clay already had so many mental issues about cheating, and Clay was such a career
career driven and like hustle driven. This is my like Airbnb and like renting out jet skis. Like I'm hustling for my money. I don't see him being with a girl that then some guy just gives her money because she bats her eyelashes.
I see. Yeah, I agree. That's like a turn off. Not having a sugar daddy, but I think if I'm driven, I want somebody to be more driven than me because I constantly not compete, but I want to be on your like I want somebody
Yeah.
that I can like work with, and I want
Exactly. Well, like you just don't like if you're a hustler, you don't want to be with someone that's just given what they have. You want
Yeah.
someone else to like, be a hustler. But
exactly.
yeah, I saw that. I was like, that would not surprise me very much.
In some ways, he kind of seemed like he was okay with it though, because it seemed like he almost wanted to get back together with her after the reunion. So like if this is true, it was obviously something that then he would have accepted. Like obviously she's, I'm assuming, then come clean to him about the sugar daddy, or maybe she never did.
I mean, I think that he knew about it because if this guy like went over to them at the bar or at the club or whatever, he had an idea about it.
You know what? They could have actually made that work then and make it like an open marriage. Like she could have had this sugar daddy die and then he wouldn't be like worried about cheating.
Yeah, but I don't think she's looking for an open marriage.
No, I don't think so either, but I don't think she was ready to give her sugar daddy.
Yeah, probably not. When someone's just sending you money, I don't think I'd be ready to get rid of it either.
Yeah, exactly. And real estate is just like I don't think the market's that great right now, so it's very dependent on the market, and obviously like houses are super expensive right now. One of our friends went in to put a deposit on their house, or they were trying to close on it, and then a corporation bought the house. Obviously, and I don't know how much money they bid over, but obviously way over asking price. They're a corporation.
Well, they could probably also give more cash.
Yeah, exactly. They probably paid full cash, honestly. And
Yeah.
I think they're like renovating it and then going to sell it again or something. And they'll sell it for like double the price, I bet. Or they'll tear it down and build an apartment. I mean, you can't, and like, that's kind of the thing is like, how are we supposed to end up buying if stuff like that? Like, I can't bet 300,000 over asking, but like Bank of America can.
I paid, I want to say $5,000 over asking. And in my offer, I put a clause saying I'm willing to go 10 grand over asking. I was against 2 other offers. So my original offer came in, and then there was an offer that was above mine, like by 2 grand. And so then they counter offered me just at like 3 grand above my original offer. And they didn't want to go back and forth and like go that 10 grand over. So they just settled with me, which was obviously really nice. But yeah, I had to pay over asking, and I was under contract within 48 hours of my house being listed.
But you went during COVID, which was a lot easier.
It was June 2021. So
was it really? For some reason, I thought it was like 2020.
No, it was June 2021 is when I closed. So it was like post COVID, but interest rates were still really low at the time.
Right.
But yeah, it worked out. And then I had paid the most anyone in my community paid when I bought, and now several units have been over what I've paid. So I'm like, yeah, good investment. I'll be rich one day.
I mean, houses are just getting so expensive. Like one of our friends owns a house that's square footage. Granted, they have a yard, but square footage wise, it's smaller than our apartment, and they paid $500,000 for it. And it's like a 3-story. It's like not like a townhouse, but like built in that type of structure. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And I'm like, no.
No, it's crazy. It's
then you have to do yard work. No, ma'am.
I like pay a ridiculous amount for my HOA, and I remember one of my old coworkers. He bought a house over an hour north of Atlanta, and he would like shit on me that he owned a house, whereas I owned a condo. And first off, you're married and have a dual income. I'm a single little gal. I only got one income, and it's not good. So he shit on me. 2, I didn't want to do yard work. I don't. And so I pay a crazy HOA, but I have a pool. They'll pressure wash. They'll plant. They'll mow the lawn. Skated. Like there are so many perks. I'm inside the perimeter of Atlanta. You live in BFE. Like, come on. But yeah, he used to shit on me all the time, and I was like, you're just a fucking hater. I'm not dealing with this because I don't want to mow a lawn. I don't.
And let's be honest, he'll be miserable, and then he's going to try to divorce, and then he's going to have to try to sell the house, and he's not going to be able to do that because his wife will keep the house because she'll probably take care of the kid, and then he's stuck with nothing.
Yeah. Loser.
And then he's gonna be paying
How
way
about them
more.
apples?
And then he's gonna try to buy a house, but he's gonna have to pay way more because the market's changed and inflation and interest
And
rates.
he's not
So
going to
he's
want to live
losing.
in BFE anymore because he's going to be a single bachelor. So he's going to be trying to come back into the city to meet women, and he's going to learn then.
Yeah, and he's not going to be able to do that because he's going to have to rent. I mean, this doesn't sound like a good situation for him.
All because he was being a hater on me in my condo.
That's karma.
Exactly.
Oh, so did you see that they stopped the basketball game in the middle of the basketball game to give update on Kate Middleton?
Dude, so you told me that they did stop it, which like kind of surprising to me, but like I guess maybe not that surprising. So heartless. I was really hoping for more of a scandal.
I will say I'm not surprised that it's cancer, but there's also been a lot of rumors that he has that mistress, Rose Hambury, I think her name is.
Yeah.
And she's pregnant and her husband is like 85. There's a lot of speculation that that's not the dad, that Prince William's the dad. Kate Middleton is way more gorgeous than I mean they always level down, you know.
Yeah. With her chemo, do you think she'll go bald?
I don't know because they don't think they specified what kind of cancer she has. So different types, you don't lose all your hair, you know.
And she's
but
so
obviously
young. She's only 42.
I know she has what, 4 kids?
I think they have 3. In that Mother's Day photo that she had 3 kids, that was edited.
Yeah, that was 3 kids. Yeah, she looked really thin too, or in that video. Then I felt weird. Okay, so we were talking about it, and then the lady next to me was like shaking her head, not at me, because one of my friends, it happened, and he's like, I don't think that's Kate Middleton, and I'm like, I think that's Kate Middleton. They're like, no, this is and now there's like this conspiracy theory, which I don't believe, and I would like to put that out there. This is just conspiracy theory that she has already passed. They used they used a doppelganger.
AI?
You know, no, like you know how they have like lookalikes.
Oh,
so she used her lookalike, and then in 3 months they're gonna announce that she passed of cancer, but in reality she's already passed.
I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that's the case either, but they were like, no, I think that's it, and I was like,
no.
I feel bad because her kids are very young too, and yeah, she's 42. I mean, wish her all the luck in the world.
I do, like, it is odd though to me, like, I understand they like needed to explain it to the kids and like be like, mommy's gonna be okay, blah 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 blah, and I do feel bad that they felt the need to come out with this statement due to like the media attention, but I feel like it would have never had as much media attention if they just kind of came out and said something earlier instead of her going MIA for 3 months.
My thought on that was because she had the abdominal surgery, it probably really was like a 3-month recovery, and she probably, even when I had just a minor surgery on my appendix, which is, you know, abdominal, like I couldn't get out of bed for like 3 days. So, and obviously she had a more severe abdominal surgery. So she might have just been like not able to get out of bed for a month, and then kind of
but she gave birth to babies and was like walking in 4-inch high heels 2 days later. She's just built different.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's like photos of her after she gave birth to, I want to say her most recent kid, like 4 days later, she was walking in like
heels and
stuff. So she's built different. Like she was able to just come back. I can't even walk in heels now, and I don't have a baby.
I thought you meant her abdominal surgery. She had kids, and then I was like, what the? No.
No.
Yeah, I mean, but I wonder if also they were trying to be like, okay, like it's abdominal or it's some sort of cancer. Let's do one more surgery, and then we can probably get rid of it. You know, like a month or so.
She had like at least the way I understood it, she had like a tumor, an abdominal tumor. They removed it. They thought it wasn't cancerous. Then after they removed it, they tested said tumor once it was removed, and it was cancerous.
The lab tests alone take like a week or 2.
Yeah. Praying for her. Also, I haven't watched it yet. Have you seen all the stuff about the Nickelodeon?
Dude, I haven't watched it either. It's disturbing. I feel bad. Have you seen those videos of Ariana Grande and like the potato?
No, I haven't seen that one yet. I've seen a lot of like the Drake and Josh stuff.
I haven't seen the Drake and Josh stuff. The Ariana Grande one's having to make like sexual noises to this potato, and then she's having her toe, like she's put her whole, like not her whole foot, but like her big toe in her mouth. Like she's upside, like she's like laying on the edge of the bed, but like her head down, and she's like having to like make really weird sexual noises, and it's really disturbing.
No, I haven't seen that yet. I want to watch the documentary, but I have seen, the guy's name is Dan, and there was like everyone's like, we had no idea he had a foot fetish. Meanwhile, like the Nickelodeon logo was literally a foot, and everyone's like, what do you mean?
I sent this to you.
No idea. Oh, I've seen it come up a few times.
Oh.
So, and then I saw that, and then also Amanda Bynes had a secret Twitter, like under some pseudonym. She was like trying to say like, I am Amanda Bynes, like this is who I am. And she even tweeted a photo of her driver's license or her permit or whatever to prove, look, this is me. Like who else would have this photo? She wrote this whole thing. You know how long tweets can be. So like 160 characters or whatever it was. She capitalized random letters in it. And those random letters spelt like Dan did it or something.
Wow.
And no one did anything about it. And you think like Amanda Bynes went crazy. Drake went crazy.
Didn't he like
his name's Drake Bell,
kill
right?
somebody or something?
I think he was like in DUIs and stuff.
Yeah, I know he went into like a really bad like drug. For some reason, I thought there was like a death involved or something.
There might have been. I honestly don't remember. But yeah, a lot of things. And Jeanette McCurdy, I mean, I read her book. Like she came out with so much stuff. And so I do want to watch it. It has to be disturbing though.
Yeah, I feel bad. I mean, Amanda Bynes is kind of in an odd way making like her way back up. I mean, have you seen, she's on TikTok. She obviously went down a really rough route because she's got face tattoos.
I feel like her and Lindsay Lohan are like getting their shit kind of back together.
Well, Amanda Bynes has like, I think she has a podcast now and she's like pretty popular on Twitter. Or
is she trying to be us?
TikTok. She's pretty popular on TikTok. But then she was saying she got her license for like to do like nails and stuff. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I wish her the best. She definitely obviously went down a really rough path because she was like kind of like the it girl there for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so it reminds me of like a Lindsay Lohan. Like she went crazy, but now like Lindsay's acting again. And like granted, she's kind of doing shit Netflix films that like or movies that aren't doing that well, but at least she's back out doing it. And like
and Britney too. I mean, she's finally free.
Yeah, but there's still something not fully right there.
Well, I mean, it's the same like Amanda Bynes. There's obviously just a lot of past trauma that's really affecting her as an adult.
Yeah, but no one is dancing naked on Instagram videos like Britney is.
I am.
The fame.
Yeah, I mean, she always, every time I see her, I just want to get a makeup wipe and wipe her eyeliner under, and I'm just like, it's so messy. I just want to like clean it up.
There's one way that like Paris Hilton hasn't changed.
Yeah, well, she's like a lot classier now than she was, but she's still like,
she's still
hot.
her. Like, yeah, she's still that's hot. She's still Paris Hilton. Her baby's so ugly, but.
You know, he has like a disease or something.
And that's why he has a big ass head.
Yeah,
it does add up because
Paris Hilton went through a really rough time too. I mean, she does like political supports now for children that were abused because she went to that school where they would like watch her naked and be really weird.
Which is, I wonder if that's why like she has like such a high pitched voice.
No, okay, so I actually saw something about this. I think she was on Watch What Happens Live or something, and she was talking. She's playing a bit. She was like, "This is my actual voice," and it's like a normal voice. And then
wait, I think you might have sent me this.
And then she's
like me, but with my phone call voice and like and welcome to Rarely Rad.
Yeah, no, and then you can see her or hear her kind of almost transitioning back to what we consider like the Paris Hilton voice, but she's like, no, like I actually like has like a normal voice. Like she doesn't sound like she's a Barbie.
Did you ever watch her cooking show?
No, I love Paris.
Oh my gosh, dude. It's on Netflix. You have to watch it. It is so funny to like see her in the grocery store, and like she cooks with like other like famous people. Like one of them is Saweetie. I think one of the Kardashians comes over to cook. It was one of those TV shows. I watched it like 3 times. I don't even know if there's any more seasons than the first one, but the first season, it's just so funny. And just like, there's so many one-liners in her just like trying to figure out how to cook. I mean, it's like me cooking. I don't really know what the hell's going on either. It's a really, really good show. I highly recommend.
I actually saw this tweet. So it was Paris Hilton's wedding. You know how she got married a couple years ago, and it was Kim Kardashian was there. Remember, Kim back in the day was kind of like a Paris like follower, and now Kim's obviously made it really big. Kim was like holding the train of her dress. Somebody tweeted like, once a bridesmaid, always a bridesmaid. Like, or she's like, once like a follower, always a follower, or something like that, like behind Paris. I was like, yeah, to be fair, Paris is like queen.
Kim created like all these businesses and stuff that have been very successful. And while like I know Paris did come out with a clothing line, it really didn't do much. Paris is still Paris.
Yeah, I don't think Paris needs all that. Like Paris
No.
is Paris. Like Kim, the
Kim, I
difference
feel like
between
felt like she needed to prove herself.
Kris Jenner marketed her daughters really well. They did a training coach for how to act in front of cameras. Like, because Kim used to smile with her teeth, and they were like, don't do that. Do a light smile, like smize or whatever the heck they're calling it. And so, like, I mean, Kris is the reason her daughters are as famous as they are.
That's why she's momager.
Yeah, dude. I mean, why hasn't Forbes put her on like top 10 businesswomen like of the year? Let's be honest. She's probably like number 1.
She deserves it.
I think also with Kim, I guess technically Kris Jenner too, is Kathy Hilton. Anytime Paris did anything or any sort of like rumor about Paris like starting to date somebody else, Kathy Hilton didn't go out and market it. Whereas Kris Jenner, like rumor, she's probably the one that starts like 99% of the rumors about the Kardashians, you know?
The paparazzi photos are actually from Kris.
If you've noticed, every time like they're about to come out with a new season, probably like 3 weeks beforehand, there's some sort of scandal like right before. And not that she planned this. Khloe's boyfriend gets caught cheating, which honestly, Kris might have known and was like, I'm just gonna wait till right before my season airs to like drop the bomb. And like,
I mean, they're always good with timing. It's like how she had Usher do the Skims debut modeling the like week of the Super Bowl in his performance. Like they always know what to do. They're like Sunday dinners, and Kris is like, so you will release this at this time, and this will be released, and we need to cook up some drama here.
Like she has like obviously like a bajillion people that work for her. You work for the Daily Mail, like you need to release this story. Fox News, you work with
Kris,
this. Like
we can start releasing some.
Yeah, I'll Venmo you $10, Kris.
Yeah, we will be the cheapest rumors ever that you need released. Just pay for Riverside editing.
Dude, don't even pay. Get us like one that actually works. Don't even pay for Riverside. Pay for one that actually works.
Pay
the
for
$15 a month one.
Platform, and we're good. We're golden. We will do whatever you need us to do.
Exactly. You can, and like the only thing, okay, pay for an editing platform, and then just post a screenshot of our Instagram on your story, so we get a bunch of followers, a bunch of listeners, and that's all we need.
The rest is history.
And that's how we became rich and famous.
And that was Rarely Rad. And this episode endorsed by Kris Jenner. Thank you so much. And we will talk to y'all next week, and maybe I'll have a puppy. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. Also, Kris Jenner, Haley did dress up and go to a Kris Jenner party. So in case you're listening.
I've been Kris Jenner so many times. I don't do it as well as you do. I'm ready. I did lose my wig though, so we'll have to try that again. But okay, bye everyone.